Welcome to first period Algebra 1 on Friday, March the 7th. Today's objective will be to review solving equations with square roots. Also in today's video you may want to look for a YouTube bonus. And if you find that and correctly answer it with all work shown and turning it in on the next school day, you will get 10 extra points. Here is the YouTube bonus for Algebra 1 on Friday, March the 7th. The problem is 5x squared minus 6x plus 3 equals 4x squared minus 6x plus 39. Solve this equation, show all work necessary, and arrive at a right answer, and you will get 10 extra points. This will go on the fourth 9 weeks. Here are the answers. Remember that these are 5 points each for the large boxes. The small boxes are 1 point each. Your lottery numbers are 4, 7, 3, 9, and 4. Answers for the homework from March the 6th. Number 1 is plus or minus 6. 2 is no real solution. 3 is plus or minus 5. 4 is no real solution. Anybody still need to see these on the screen? Everybody got them? Alright, number 5 is plus or minus 5, and 6 is plus or minus 8. Number 7 is plus or minus 6, 8 is plus or minus 2, 9 is plus or minus 6, 10 is plus or minus 3. Extra credit answers from March the 6th. Number 1 is plus or minus 3. 2 is 0. There is no plus or minus 0. 0 has no sign. 3 is plus or minus 3.5, or if you have something close to that, since there were no directions on rounding. 4 is plus or minus 4.9, and 5 is plus or minus 3.9. Today's objective is to review solving equations with what? Square roots. Yes. Here's the first example. Answer these questions as we get to them, and you could pick up some points. The problem is negative 3x squared plus 9 equals negative 2x squared plus 25. What is the first thing I have to do, Darnell?
There would be equals 25 plus 9. And you switch the 9's sign to minus.
So it would be 25 minus 9 on the right side. We can take that. So what would I do after that? She's absent, so we'll leave her out. And she's absent too. McDame, what do I do next? Negative 3x squared plus 2x squared. And move that over to the left side. That is right. On the left-hand side, I have negative 3x squared plus 2x squared. What do I get when I add those two together, Ruark? Negative x squared is right. And on the right side, I have 25 minus 9. What is that going to be, Hughes? $16. Now, what do I have to do to both sides, Johnson? Divide both sides by -1. And when I divide the left side by -1, what am I left with? Salyers.
You'd be left with x squared.
X squared on the left only.
Sorry.
X squared on the left, that's right. So he gets the point. And on the right side, 16 divided by -1 is going to go to Darnell.
It is -16.
-16. What must I do to both sides, McDane? Yeah, you need the square root of both sides. What is the square root of x squared, Ruark? X, that's right. And on the right side, I have the square root of -16. What is that, Johnson? No real solution. That is right, because the square root of a negative is not a real solution. Here is the review on your notebook check. Here's how it's going to go. It's worth 1,000 points. I've made the total number of items that you need for your notebook to get everything 70. So if you have 70 legitimate items, a legitimate item is a warm-up quiz, homework, notes, tests, and things like that. Items that are not legitimate are 2 different pages of notes from the same day. Those only count as one item. If you have 5 pages of notes from yesterday, that's still just one item. This is why you must date all of your material every day. If you have between 60 and 69 items, then you'll get 900 points. 50 to 59 items will be 800 points. 40 to 49 is 700. 600 points is 30 to 39 items. 500 is 20 to 29. 400 is 10 to 19. 300 is 1 to 9. And then it drops down to 0 for nothing at all. So if you had just one test that you saved and put it in a notebook, you would at least get 300 points, which is extremely generous. Here is a practice problem. And this one is 4x squared plus 64 equals 2x squared. And then that's going to be plus 128. For this practice problem, what is the first thing I have to do? Hughes. Yeah, we have to switch 64 and 2x squared. That's true. And when I move the 2x squared to this side, what's it going to be? Salyers.
It's going to be equals 128 minus 64.
The question is, when I switch the 2x squared over to the left-hand side, what will it be?
Sorry, it's only minus 2x squared.
Minus 2x squared. Yes, he has that right. And we'll put the 6 back in here. On the right-hand side, what is already over there that stays? Hughes. On the right-hand side, what stays over there that's already there that doesn't need to move? Yes. There's something on the right-hand side that does not move. It will not switch sides. What is that? Between this item and this item, which one will stay on the right? You have two choice. You have a choice there. You have 2x squared and 128. Which one will stay on the right?
128.
The 128, yes. So we'll have 128 that stays there. All right. And then on the next step, what moves over with it and what does it become? Darnell.
That plus 64 goes, switches sides, goes to minus 64.
That's right, minus 64. Okay, on the left-hand side, 4x squared minus 2x squared is what? Salyers.
What 4x squared would be 2x squared.
2x squared is right. And on the right side, we have 128 minus 64. What is that? Ruark. 64, yes. And what do I do to both sides now? Johnson. Divide by 2. When I divide by 2, what do I end up with on the left-hand side? McDane. X squared. And on the right side, when I divide by 2, what do I end up with? Ruark. 32 is right. What must I do to both sides now? McDane. Square root. That's right. And when I do the square root of the left-hand side, what am I left with? Salyers.
It would,
Square root of x squared is what? Square root of x squared is what?
X.
X, yes. On the right-hand side, what is the square root rounded to the 10th place of 32? Hughes. Square root of 32 rounded to the 10th place. Close. What is the square root of 32 rounded to the 10th place, Johnson? 5. Yes, plus or minus 5.7 is right. Another practice problem. On this practice problem, what side do all x's go to, left or right? Darnell. On the left, yes. If I move all x's to the left, what is already on the left that does not have to move? Ruark. Yeah, 5x squared and 2x is already on the left. It does not have to move. What must go over to the left and join it from the right? Hughes. 4x squared and 2x is right. When I put 4x squared and 2x on the left, what will they be? Johnson. Minus 4x squared and minus 2x is right. On the right-hand side, what is there that does not have to move? Salyers.
It would be 5.
5 is right. And what will move over to it from the left? Darnell.
The plus 1, but then move over and be minus 1.
Right, the plus 1 goes over and becomes a minus 1. On the left-hand side, when I simplify this 5x squared with minus 4x squared, what will it become? McDane. X squared is right. When I simplify the plus 2x squared with the minus, or not plus 2x squared, the plus 2x and the minus 2x, what will they become? And we have to start over on the sticks. Johnson. It would just be 0. Do we have to write 0? No, we don't have to write 0. So on the right-hand side, what is 5 minus 1 Salyers?
That'll be 4.
That would be 4. What do I have to do to both sides now? Hughes. Yeah, we have to find the square root of both sides. When I find the square root of the left-hand side, what am I left with? Darnell.
The x side would just be x.
That would be x. And on the right-hand side, what is the square root of 4? Ruark. No. What is the square root of 4? McDane. Plus or minus 2. That is right. The bonus problem is 4x squared plus 9 equals 45. Answer to the bonus is plus or minus 3. End of class quiz. Here are the answers. Remember, you must have the plus or minus sign. And these are 5 points each. Everything over here is 1 point each. The lottery is 9, 8, 8, 1, 2.